Alright, hey YouTube, this is going to be a review of the Sawyer squeeze filter. Now if you're familiar with the Sawyer squeeze filter, the first thing you'll probably notice about this one is that it has a different cap on it. This cap is actually a cap from the half-liter smart water bottles. They have the same thread pitch as the Sawyer accepts. So what I did is I took that cap, which has the built-in protective flip cap on it, and put it on the squeeze filter. I did this for two reasons. One, and you're probably going to call me a crazy person for doing that, but that cap is 1 gram lighter than this cap. Two, this can get lost, and then that can get dirty and messed up or whatever. This will never get lost because it's attached, right? So, you know, it probably probably has a shorter lifespan, because I imagine this thin piece of plastic right here, the hinge, I imagine that would eventually break. But you know, whatever. You can find smart water bottles everywhere, and the new sports cap is on a lot of them. So I don't mind, you know, fitting the bill for another one, because smart water is good. Anyways, this filter comes with 3 bags. So here's 1, there's 2, and then here's the 3rd one behind it. Now this is a half-liter, 1 liter, 2 liter. I'm only going to carry the 2 liter because I carry 2 water bottles, 1 liter each. Hold on, I gotta sneeze. Oh, excuse me. Alright, so anyways, I'm just going to carry the 2 liter bag with mine, just for simplicity reasons. The reason I'm going to do 2 liters is because I have 2 1 liter water bottles, and I would rather not have to fill up, say, the small light half liter 4 times. Probably more because I go with friends a lot and they don't have filters. So I'd rather just make it quick and easy. The less time you spend in cold water, the better. But anyways, this 2 liter bag weighs 30 grams by itself. Okay. And what's nice about the Sawyer products is you have how to backwash the system and how to storage the system on one side of the bag, and on the other you have the directions. Now these bags, I don't think they're made out of Mylar. They might be. It feels like a slightly thinner plastic than what the platypus bottles are made out of, but very similar in construction and feel. And I guess it's, what would you call that? Pinched or beveled or whatever, so that when it's full, it'll stand up flat, which is nice. That's a nice little feature. And it's also designed with the same thread pitch on the cap, so that you can screw your filter on, and then you can just drink right from your filter if you want to. Which honestly, that wouldn't be a bad idea. That'd save you, you know, 3 ounces maybe for not taking the water bottles, depending on what water bottles you take. I just, personally, I'm not going to do that. I know it'd save 3 ounces, but I would rather just have a separate water bottle, because you'd have to use 2 hands to drink with this, because you'd have to hold it with one hand, hold the filter with one hand, then hold the bag with the other. And I like one hand drinking. It's preferable for my taste, just because I drink and hike. I don't stop and drink. I don't know. That's just me personally. But anyways, what's cool about this is it's guaranteed for 1,000,000 liters, which is, or 1,000,000 gallons, excuse me, which is pretty freaking amazing. The filter itself weighs 70 grams. So I have not done that conversion for both of these, but I think it's somewhere in the line of like 2.5 ounces. That's dry. I have not run any water through this yet. So this is more of a tabletop review than a full-on, I've used it dozens of times and love it review. But I don't see why I'm not. I wouldn't love it. It's hollow core fiber, which I have experience with my MSR Hyperflow. And just for reference, the Hyperflow filter by itself, that's the filter, the inlet line, and the pre-filter, weighs 224 grams. The case to hold it in, if you want to use that, weighs 70 grams, and the repair kit for the Hyperflow filter weighs 48 grams. Now I'm doing it in terms of grams and not ounces. It's just grams is a far more accurate scale of weight, whereas ounces is not as accurate, which is funny because Fahrenheit is a far more accurate measurement of temperature, whereas Celsius is not. But I like the metric system. Being an engineer, it makes sense. Everything, is divisible by 10, which is great. You just move the decimal point over, and you can convert to bigger or smaller units. But anyways, the filter comes, like I said, with the 3 filter bags, a 2 liter, a 1 liter, and a half liter. The filter itself, the filter cap that comes with it, with the little cover over the cap, and then it comes with a backwashing syringe. Now they say to backwash this, what you do is you just fill this up with 2 ounces of water, of clean water. You unscrew the cap, stick the little needle of the syringe, which is, if you can see that right there, you stick it right there in that hole, and you forcefully push down on the syringe, and it back flushes the dirt and grit out of the Hyperflow filter, or out of the hollow core filter, through the inlet, and cleans the filter, back flushes the filter. They say you don't have to do it often. Rarely would you ever have to do it. You probably want to do it if you're in real turbid or sandy, dirty water. I would want to do that probably when I came home from a trip or whatever. As far as taking this with me, I will not be taking this. Most of my trips are under a week long. Now if I was through hiking, I would put this in my town package, my resupply box that I would be shipping to town as I go through a through hike. There's really no need to take this with you. If something catastrophic does happen to the filter, you might want to always have a couple extra iodine pills or chlorine dioxide, which personally I prefer chlorine dioxide over iodine, because it improves the taste of water, whereas iodine tastes like crap. That's what the military uses too, is chlorine dioxide. Aquamira is made out of chlorine dioxide. Anyways, but yeah, I mean, the fit and finish on the filter is just, it's nice, man. Look how small that is. That is crazy to me. It fits in the fist of my hand. I do have large hands, but I wouldn't say this is more than 3.5 inch diameter, maybe. I don't have a tape measure on me. But yeah, it's super small, super light. I would call this an ultralight filter, maybe even a super light filter. The only thing out there that's lighter than this, I think, is the the Aquamira or the Frontier stick filter, but those things are only good for like 40 gallons. This has a lifetime warranty, 1 million gallons on this. I haven't calculated it, but in order to drink 1 million gallons, that's easily a lifetime of, here, let's calculate it real quick. Alright, so if you have 1 million gallons, see, there's 1 million right there, and in order to use this up in a year, divided by 365 days, you would have to drink 2,739.7 gallons a day in order to drink 1 million gallons a day, or a year. That's a shitload. Alright, so let's say, let's just say you're a freak of nature, alright, and you drink 2 gallons of water a day. Times 365 days, that's 730 gallons a year, alright? So let's say a lifetime of an average male is 75 years. That's 54,000 gallons. That is well within the million-gallon warranty of this thing. That's pretty insane. I guess probably your average individual can't drink 1,000,000 gallons in a year. Yeah, I don't think there's any way. Okay, let's just kick it out. Let's double it. Let's say you drink 4 gallons a day for a year. That's 1,460 gallons a year. Multiply that by 80 years, and that's still 116,800 gallons. Man, yeah, that's 2 lifetimes, 3 lifetimes. Actually, based on those numbers, you're looking at like 10 lifetimes for a person living 80 years, drinking 4 gallons a day. That's insane. It comes with a little rubber O-ring down here in the bottom. It did ship a little dirty, if you can see that dirt right in there. I gotta clean that. It looks like maybe mold or mildew. I'm just gonna throw this in a little bleach solution and make sure that's cleaned out. Now what I would do if I was you and you had this filter, I would do the same thing that the Hyperflow says to do. Like if you're going to store this for a long time, I'd put 2 to 3 drops excuse me, of bleach in a liter of water and run that liter of water through this. That'll get that bleach in that bleach solution in the hollow core fibers, and it'll just prevent mildew and mold from building up in the filter. And after you did that, I would leave both ends unopened to the air. Now, what I would like to see from Sawyer in the future for this, maybe a thread protector cap to go in here when you're not using the filter, just so junk and shit doesn't get down in here, and it'll prevent the filter from leaking the water back out that's kind of stored in the filter after you're done squeezing it. And I would also like to see a cap like this ship with the filter. I mean, these are nice and all, but this weighs 6 grams, this weighs 5. The ones on Deer Park weigh even less, but the thread pitch is not the correct threads. So yeah, that's what I would like to see from Sawyer. I doubt they'll ever see this, but you know, I think that's a good idea for them to do. Okay, I wanted to add this real quick to the end of the Sawyer Squeeze filter system video. I did not talk about exactly what this filters out. It's hollow fiber membrane is what they call it, and it's let's see if you can see it right here. It's 0.1 micron absolute. Now that, as far as I know, that's one of the smallest filters that's hollow core, hollow fiber. It's smaller than the MSR Hyperflow. The Hyperflow I think is 0.3 or 0.2. But what it does is it filters out, let's see, it says bacteria, protozoa, and cysts. It does not do viruses, but here's my theory and some other people's theory with viruses. Viruses need a host to survive, and 0.1 micron is going to filter out anything big enough to be a host for a virus. So if you can filter out the host, the virus dies, you know, after a certain amount of time, but it still dies. But if you think you're going to be somewhere with viruses, you absolutely need to treat your water with chlorine dioxide, iodine, UV, you know, any other way of doing it. But it's a pretty nice box. It talks about the 1 million gallon guarantee, and then it says like why to choose a hollow fiber membrane. Anyways, it says that it removes 7 log or 99.99999% of bacteria and 6 log 99.9999% of protozoa, and they're the highest filtration rates available for those removal rates on that bacteria and protozoa. And it says the flow rate can filter as fast as you can drink, or most standard soft drink water bottles after the initial wetting of the fibers. The flow will only slow down as the filter begins to fill with particulates, at which time it can be quickly and easily restored through backwashing, which I showed you guys. And it talks about, it says the total field weight is 3 ounces, but I found that to be smaller actually. So anyways, thanks guys, I appreciate it, and thanks again, thanks for watching.